All right. It's been a hot minute. I haven't really had the time to do one of these, but back in action. This is my October 2019 to December 2019 sketchbook. The sketchbook itself is an Arteza watercolor sketchbook. My friend got a deal where she got 2 of these, but she was super slow on filling out sketchbooks, so she just gave me one because I go through them like candy. And despite the fact that I was getting into watercolor this time, I actually didn't do a lot of watercolor. I didn't do a lot of watercolor in this one, but we don't have any stickers. It's very plain. I did draw some eyes right there. It's really hard to see with the fabric cover. And I stuck a little baby safety pin at the front. And there's some paint splotches. Behold one of the few watercolor things that I did in this sketchbook. I think this sketchbook I experimented with gouache for the first time. Not first time, but I actually did something with gouache that I was proud of. So we just have a random galaxy, a strawberry. Such a bad strawberry. I can never do strawberries in watercolor. I think that was a Steven Universe screen cap redraw and a random photo of a forest that I probably redrew. That's when the Joker movie came out. My job was about an hour and a half away from where I lived at the time, and my car had some troubles, so I actually had to have my, at the time boyfriend, my now husband, drive an hour and a half out to this town to pick me up. And we decided that, well, he spent all this time driving to get me, we may as well, go on a mini date. So we went to the movie theater and we watched the new Joker movie, and I went home and was like, oh, I'm gonna draw this from memory. And so I did this. I did. It's all right. I wish I had done a sketch or looked up a photo. He looks very wonky. We have a Korok. This was blocking another sketch that I have later on. And then we have a Bee and Puppy Cat screen cap redraw. This is one of my first TikToks. In the TikTok, you'll see that I have a thing covering this finger. That's because when I was helping my mom clean out her garage, I sliced my finger on a picture frame, and I actually had to go to urgent care, and I got it surgically reattached to that little flap of skin. It's hard to tell. Hold on, let me see if I can get it good. It's heart-shaped. Isn't that cute? Also ignore my crusty, dusty nails. It's heart-shaped, which is kind of fun. So that was my first week of doing work, going to work on my big girl job. And it sucked because I had to do a lot of writing because I am in a hospital scenario, so I had to write a lot of patient information by hand, and it sucked. But I just did a watercolor tentacle. I did a lot more watercolor than I remember, I guess. This is Jodie from her music video Monster. The initial one that I did not look anything like her, so I tried to fix it to make it look more like her, and it still doesn't, but I still really like how this turned out. This was the sketch that eyeball was covering. I was going to do a thing where it's oh, I'm going to do Inktober this year, and then Inktober comes and punts me into the sky, but I can't do anatomy. You can see me try to do a little thumbnail over there, or a base sketch to figure it out. This one's hard to see, but it is Thorin Oakenshield from the Hobbit movies. I can't draw him very well. Realism was one of those things where it was fleeting. And then of course I was obsessed with Joji at the time, Filthy Frank, Pink Guy. He released the song Slow Dancing in the Dark, and I really had been wanting to just draw stuff from that music video. I did in a previous sketchbook, but I wanted to do something a little bit more dedicated. I'm actually still kind of proud. My once a sketchbook Zelda sketch, and I tried to draw Aurora because she's my favorite Disney princess, but when I went to go color her in, my paint smudged, and I was like, that's fine, that's whatever. And then a quick background study that I found on Pinterest. that I didn't finish because I suck at backgrounds. And this page is just kind of whatever. I think that was supposed to be like a Belle cosplayer, like Beauty and the Beast Belle. And then a random person sitting. Here's a close-up of that Belle. I still kind of like this one. Over the garden wall stuff. I love this. And mood. And then we have a really bad, I think that's supposed to be either Tyler Joseph or Josh Dunn from 21 Pilots. And this is Ethan Nestor from Crank Gameplays, Unis Honest, Markiplier Makes, whatever. He was eating an apple in the Markiplier Makes Pie video. And I don't know, something about it really spooked to me. And it did in 2021 because...
Hello there.
I did a little thing of him biting the apple while he was turning. And I thought it was so cool. I got watercolor gold metallic paint. And I still have it all these years later. I really don't use a whole lot. They're beautiful paints. And I decided to test them out. So, it's hard to see. I used a different color of the golds to try to see if I can do shading with it. And then this is going to be like a ghost talking to a frog. I never finished it. Seeing how it layered over other paints that I had, and then a swatch test. And then I was like, ooh, what if I did, you know, something else? There's some gold in there as well. I think this was probably stolen off of Pinterest. Some sheepies. This is the point where I had moved to the corporate building for my job. And I used to bring my sketchbook, and it's 12.5-hour shifts. And you tend to get a lot of downtime during those 12.5 hours, so I was like, oh, I'll draw. And I'd always forget to bring supplies, so I would just use highlighters, which, if anyone follows me on any social media, you know that right now I am very highlighter pilled, I guess. Like, I did all of these in highlighters, and oh gosh, I've done quite a few other things. Like all of these in highlight. Like, I love highlighter stuff now. But back then it wasn't as good. So here's the sheepies. A dress that I did. I think this was a dress that Beyonce wore, question mark. Random dude and a badly drawn Gengar. I was gonna do an eyeball, and that's literally all that's on this page. The pilot episode of Has Been Hotel dropped. I have mixed feelings about that show, about that universe. I did this at work. I did a night shift, which sucked. And this night I happened to have had a double serving of chili with extra beans. That was a rough night, but I got my watercolor pencils, and I drew this beautiful lady. She's very pretty. And I did some of my metallic paints. I kind of really want to redraw her because the way I draw people is a lot better now, even if I don't really do realism. And when I have tried realism again, it's worked out a lot for me. These I did at work. Scared the crap out of one of my coworkers because she passed by my desk and saw this and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I don't know. I'm just having fun. This was probably based off of a Pinterest photo. I made the hand way too big though. And then a Luna moth. I could never draw Luna moths the way that I like. This page was a mix of being at my sister's place and then hanging out with my friend. We have a very bad Gerard Way, a Catra that I made digital, and it actually got over 1,000 notes on Tumblr when I did so. A glitch trap from Five Nights at Freddy's. I rewatched Treasure Planet, and then I was doing a Nuzlocke and I named my Piplup Mumble. Some more bad 21 Pilots fan art. Oh, hello. Tattletale fan art, a 3-marker challenge that I did, and a little bulb boy that I did. I was coming out of my music phase, but I really wanted to do some like interesting facial expressions and dynamic poses, and the 21 Pilots boys posted a lot of those things, and they just posted a lot. It helped me get a little consistent. And then our Tattletale, which I believe I did with highlighter. This, I did the 3 marker challenge. I drew a mermaid and Bulba looking at a flower. This was when I started really getting into the highlighter stuff. I wanted to redraw this piece that I did of Shiro way back in like 2017, 2018. Yeah, 2018. But I wanted to do the original photo because this was when I was like, oh, Voltron is gross and cringe, and liking it means you're gross and cringe. So I just did the original, and then I think that's the Cole Sprouse. And then the lyrics are from Coffee by Jack Stauber. I was getting super into his music at the time. And then over here, I did some anatomy practice, and then just for color blocks, I did highlighter behind it. Surprisingly, the graphite doesn't smudge all that much with this sketchbook, which is nice. More highlighter dresses. I was trying to do the over the garden wall when the B-sides are all crazy, and it didn't work. It did not work. And then I was gonna do another background practice, trying to use perspective, and I gave up, which I shouldn't have. It was starting to look okay. Like I was getting there. We have the dress. I love drawing dresses. They're so fun. And then I watched Jacksepticeye or Markiplier, I can't remember which one, play this game about social anxiety, and I really liked the monster design. That was a random photographer, and I liked the way his hair moved, so I drew him. Barry B. Benson. And then this is an animatic thing that I did to Stay Alive by Jose Gonzalez from The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I love that song, and it got me through some tough times, and I wanted to try to express the way it made me feel with these random little things, like driving in the rain and a street light, an alarm clock, a window. And then later on I was like, oh, I should probably wrap this up, so I did a dewdrop and then an airplane and then someone holding hands. But I gave up, and I'm sad I did. Eventually I'll do it again. Barry B. Benson. Monsters from video game. Photographer that I never finished that kind of looks like Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. And I'll do this one. This was Josh Dunn from 21 Pilots. But I messed up. I was trying to do another realistic piece, and I messed up his mouth. So I didn't like it, and I covered it up. It's not bad, but I didn't finish because I gave up on it because I messed up. Maybe I'll do it again. That would be fun. We have my favorite page in this sketchbook is right here. I decided I wanted to draw some animals. I love drawing animals, and I decided I should draw some fat dogs. And then this is when I got some gouache. So I was trying to figure it out. Took me a little while. Here are the boys. Yeah. Here is my study that I never finished. This spread only has one thing. It was Baby Grogu that I also gave up on and never finished. We have Baby Merida from Brave. We have, her name is Lissy. She's from another YouTuber named Ginger Ninja OWO. They were doing a Nuzlocke comic, and that was one of their characters. They've since been repurposed for a project that they're currently working on called Prism, which if you have not heard of it, holy cow, you are missing out. Please go watch all of their videos about their they're turning it into a video game. I'm so excited for this. A Zachary from Off, a random aesthetic thing, a little sketch of me being stressed, and Kirishima doodles from My Hero Academia. There's that. A little Real Akuma. I forgot that one as well. I think the Real Akuma Netflix show just came out around this time. He's dressed from work. My mom was worried. She thought I owed somebody money. She woke me up at 1 a.m. being like, I just looked through your sketchbook. Are you okay? Do you need me to call the police? This was me completely ignoring the fact that this sketchbook is a water sketchbook and just doing pencil sketches. We have some Sailor Moon, some Deckard Wizard from Bee and Puppy Cat, random mouse. That was my hand. I'll see if I can find the picture of it. I'd gotten some paint on my finger and I thought it looked so cool, so I did just the rest of them. Tumblr meme, that was gonna be a horse and a flower crown, Poochyena, and that was my background for my phone. Oh, see, step, that's no longer canon, so just ignore that. We have our Sailor Moon, Deckard, little Mousy Mouse, hand, meme, phone background, Poochyena, horse. This is when I went back and watched a whole bunch of shows that I used to really like as a kid, or I reread some manga that I really liked as a kid. Really just a delve into nostalgia for me. Much like the entire sketchbook I did when I was taking care of my dying grandmother, where it was just, I am trying to wring out as much dopamine from my childhood as I possibly can because I need something right now. I wasn't going through anything. I think it was just like a lot of, I was at a big girl job now and I had a respectable job for the first time in my life, and I was 21, I think, 19? Yeah, 21. And I just was like, oh my God, I'm an adult now. What happened? So I was reminiscing about my childhood. I loved the Tokyo Mew Mew manga as a child. I didn't like the show back then. I've watched it since and I absolutely love it. And this is when it started with me fully embracing the cringe. Started here. This was the first seed that was planted where I was like, you know what? If it makes me happy and I'm not hurting anybody, who cares? I will allow whimsy and childhood wonder back into my life. So I rewatched Gravity Falls and I tried to emulate the art style. I think I did pretty good. And I did some Ichigo Momomiya. I had this concept sketch that I did at work of a lava lamp, but the goop forms like a girl. And I tried to execute it and it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, and so I gave up. And then over here, I was rewatching all of the Phil is Not on Fire videos, and I was like, I'll draw a screenshot from all of them. I don't mind this one. It does not look like them, but this is when Phil said your mom, and this was when Dan was trying to convince Phil that microwave was an onomatopoeia. I'm so sorry to my boys. I draw you so much better now. This is when they stop lying flat. A Vanny mask that I still kind of like. I was going to draw some avian, like winged humanoid creatures because I've always loved that concept. And a little potion bottle. Spooky. We are at the page that makes me sad. I look at this page in particular and I was like, wow, I used to do like somewhat decent semi-realism and now I'm like super cartoony. What the hell happened, you know? So I look back at this and be like, wow, I wish I was still on this sauce. And then I go, oh, I probably could if I practiced. And then I go, don't want to. What I do now is more fun. I'm envious of my past self, but I do not make any moves to become her. And then mushrooms. This page is me close to the end of the sketchbook and being like, you know what, I'm tired. This is before I hit that like, all right, sketchbook's almost over, let's go. And it's that like, man, this is the Thursday of like sketchbook spreads. You know what I mean? Like, it's not quite that weekend where it's like, all right, I'm almost there, I'm almost done. You still have another like day to go. So you're just kind of like, your heart's not really in it. That's this spread. We've got a puppet from Five Nights at Freddy's. We have a random jacket, a random Antisepticeye. I was gonna try to see if I could recreate, you know when you're driving at night after it's been raining and like all the streetlights are reflecting in the water? Wanted to try that, couldn't get it to work. Volleyball / pink pearl, whatever, and then a Mina Ashido from My Hero Academia. Puppet, jacket, Jack. bad anatomy. Mina Ashiro. More metallic paint stuff. It's got some lips, an eye that I still kind of like. Oh, smooth. And then that was supposed to be Lars from Steven Universe. And then a gouache study. It's really cool looking, but it's a bad skull anatomy practice. Does that make sense? But I was trying a limited color palette, which I did.
Hello.
I'm too lazy. I'll put a picture of it, whatever. We have now gotten to the Friday, Saturday section. It doesn't get cool. It might get cool, but this is nonsense. Okay, we have Sal Fisher. Sal Fisher? Is that his last name? We have Sal from Sally Face, Shadow Bonnie, me screaming probably because something happened, Aizawa from My Hero Academia, owning a plant shop that probably was reading fanfiction, and that's Aichiryu Notori from Free wearing a dress because, I don't know, there was a big headcanon in the fandom around this time. Shadow Bonnie, Scream, Sal, Aizawa, Aichiryu, who are you? And a cat, a Maine Coon cat.
Will you close it?
We have made it to Saturday. Okay, so this page is a lot. There's more Sally Face fan art because I was replaying the game, okay? So we have Sal playing a guitar with all of the runes. We have Sal taking off his prosthetic. I draw him with a lot more scarring now. Don't worry about it. And then Sal being all angsty with his mask and he's touching it. And then it's like, why did you cry? You didn't look away, because that's the game. Moving on. OC's hugging. That's Theta and that's Cass. I think at the time her name was Nova. I have since changed it because I have a friend who transitioned and changed their name to Nova, and I was like, I don't want to have their names overlap. Because then I'd feel weird, and also because one's non-binary and the other one's female, so I was like, you know what, we'll change her name to Cass. So her name is Cass now, which works with the lore a lot more than Nova. So that's Theta and Cass hugging because I love them. And then that is my OC Theta, and my friend and I went to the mall, and we were in Hot Topic, and we saw so many things that were very interesting, and we decided to be hilarious if we drew our OCs wearing this outfit. So it's a bedazzled green cap with it's a green cap with a bedazzled marijuana leaf on it, the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn jacket, booty shorts that say "Do not resuscitate," and then like thigh-high stockings, and then like high heels. We thought it would be really cool to have like this wild outfit. Whatever. And I've been wondering what that is. Honest was a thing, and they did the new drawings. I really liked the lighting, and I was like, I need to practice male anatomy more. I will draw Mark. And I got to this point, and I was like, this looks really weird. I probably shouldn't draw anymore. So that is that. But what is a Friday if not questionable, or Saturday if not some questionable nudity? A little bit of angst. Wild outfits, hugs, and things you would rather not show your family. You know, like, that's what Saturdays are for. And before anyone asks, I am still very mad that I don't do anything on this side. I am, again, one of those people that, like, jam-packs their sketchbooks now. Like, it doesn't matter with what. Like, there is something in every corner. It does not matter. These are like jam-packed, no blank spaces, baby. We ballin'. So this bothers me. I want to do some anatomy sketches. We're approaching, I would say this is Sunday, the wind down day. You had your fun on Saturday. Now this is like all right, gotta get some errands done. So I was doing some anatomy practices. I found out that ice skaters have like a lot thicker legs than you'd think. But that makes sense. All of their strength is in their legs because they're using it to propel themselves and do like these crazy inhuman acts of jumps and twists, and the ice skaters are so beautiful to me. They're so beautiful to me. And once again, using highlighter and markers instead of, watercolors. sketches. What? Oh, that's a flower. Yeah, this is fun. I might do this again too. This spread has no cohesiveness. We have a Sailor Moon that I did once again in highlighter, a succulent that I'm really proud of still, that's Yuri Katsuki. That explains the ice skaters. I probably was watching Yuri on Ice again. So ice skaters as anatomy practice, and then a Yuri Katsuki, Grogu drinking soup or Baby Yoda, Baymax, my OC stuff. This is when I discovered Interlude from the Zach Callison album that he did, and I thought it'd be interesting to do a fight between Theta and Nova. They don't look like that anymore. I've drawn Nova so often. She is so baby girl to me. I love her. What? What is happening to me? And then I thought it'd be funny if they fought. Oh, and then I was playing the Evil Within. So we have the Baymax, Baby Yoda / Grogu, Yuri Katsuki, my OC's fighting. Me, I love the chocolate oranges. This was after Christmas. I love chocolate oranges. I think I draw a little thing like this anytime I get one. The Sailor Moon, which I still like, and the succulent, which I'm very proud of. Y'all aren't even ready for the last page. I got back into Full Metal Alchemist, and I also was starting to get into tarot cards. I don't believe in it, I just think it's fun. Good on you if you do believe in it though, cool. And I was like, I could combine these, and I thought the Magician was perfect for Ed. I did try to do some others for the other characters. I don't necessarily like the background or the fact that I cut off his legs, because like his arm's metallic, there's the lightning, there's the Alphon symbol. Yeah, little me saying I hope you like this sketchbook because I do. And then back here is a whole bunch of faces for a TikTok that I made. That was it for this sketchbook. The next one is another small one, very teeny tiny. This was January 2020 to March of 2020. COVID hit as I got halfway through this sketchbook, and then I gave up on it because whatever. So this will be a quick flip through, fairly quick flip through, and then we are on to the sketchbooks that I actually start liking. I'm very excited. Thank you guys for watching. To the 3 of you who do, I appreciate you. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you. Bye. My knees hurt. My knees.